Hi, this is Evan Jones from lawschooly.com. Today we're looking at Preptest 29, Game 2, Mannequins. This is seriously one of the hardest games in the history of the LSAT. So I'm doing this by someone's request, which didn't surprise me at all because when I was a tutor, I never had a prep student where they didn't want to go over this game together because it's really difficult. Um, and I think that unless you're like in um, the final stretch and really feeling like very confident and ready for this game, you're going to have real trouble with it. That's okay. It's very rare that you'll have a game section with this nightmarish a game. And the best thing to do, like seriously, is just don't panic if you run into something like this. If you were doing game one with us from this prep test, that was a game that's like really, really, really easy. So it sets this up so that you have a good deal of extra time to do it. So I would think that a normal really good test taker is probably taking 12 minutes maybe even to do this test, to do this game. And the section's set up so that you have that. Also, if you struggle with it and just don't do so well, so did everybody else. So it might be a test with a soft curve. So no, like if you get one of these nightmarish games, don't freak out and let it unsettle you for the rest of the section. Remember that you still have stuff to do, and likely because you get this really hard game, the other ones won't be so tricky. We saw that with game one, and I haven't looked at them in a while, but I'm guessing game 3 and 4 are pretty easy here too. So why is this game so difficult? I've drawn out the setup that we use for it, and I'll explain why I did it this way. It starts out as a basic grouping game with just two mannequins, 1 and 2, but then there's subgroups, which is that you're putting things into these specific areas of the mannequin. You got tie, their hat, their jacket, and their skirt. And do that in lowercase so that you don't get confused that those are variables. And then you've got your game elements, which are the articles of clothing that you'll be putting on the mannequin. And you could do it up here, like we've got a red, navy, yellow skirt, etc., but that's going to be really tough to keep track of. Much better thing is to put these articles of clothing where they're going. So we've got 3 hats, 1 in each color, navy, yellow, red. And then three jackets, navy, yellow, and red. And then same down here, navy, yellow, red. And then furthermore, we have 1 red tie. So this helps you keep track, which will be critical later on, of what you've got left. You can see that if this is gone because you've used it here, you've only got the option of yellow and red here. And that becomes really critical to solving this game. So it's much better to have these variables sitting down here as opposed to how you might typically do it with listing everything up top. If you start by listing everything up top, that's fine, but just make sure you do this. And this is a fairly classic technique that you use with a lot of advanced ordering games and also complex grouping games, where you'll put the variables down right next to the slots that they'll be going. So these three hats are only going to be able to go in these 2 spots. You can't suddenly use it down there for a jacket or something like that. Discussing the rules more specifically, we see that neither mannequin wears all 3 colors. Tough rule to represent visually. I think, just write something down so that you can remember it. 2 colors max. And then that's in each thing, so 2 colors max, 2 colors max. I like that because it's like a big bright visual reminder that if I use, say, red here and navy, that's all I can have. I can't have red, yellow, navy. Can't have red, yellow, navy here. Just one or other of the two. Each mannequin wears a hat in a different color from the jacket it wears. So there's a couple ways you could do this. Say this is red, then this has to be, a different color. One good way might be to have a little do not equals thing between the two. I think a better way that Mike Kim suggests in the LSAT trainer is to use different shapes for this. So have a square and a triangle there, which shows you that why is it not allowing me to draw a proper square? So that shows you that it might that it can't be the same thing, in a kind of powerful visual reminder fashion. So I like that a lot. Once you've got that done, there's a couple rules left. We've got the mannequin 2. Mannequin 2 is wearing the navy skirt. So good, that's at least something that we can hang on to here. And then the one red tie that we have, that goes here. So an important thing to do is cross this spot off because we've got nothing left over here to put into this one spot. There's only this one red tie, and we now know it's on mannequin 1. Now, before we move on to the game, there's kind of a further inference of pattern that you could spot here. I think a lot of people won't spot it till they're already well into the game, which is partly what makes this so hard. But because you've got a red tie here, and then 2 colors max, so this side can only be red or navy or red and yellow. That's all you can do on this side, right? And let's look at how that would look. Say we've got red here, and then navy here, and navy here. Or we could do navy here, and red here, and either navy or red here. No matter what, you do need a red in one of these 2 spots because you've only got 2 colors. Hat and jacket have to be a different color. So I think a useful thing to do might be to indicate off to the side red and red. If you're not getting this inference yet, hopefully the game really does force you to get it later on, but bonus points if you got it here. And extra bonus points, I didn't even get this far in my first setup, but if you see that it's the same situation over here with navy, because you can only have navy and some other color on this side, and to make these different, one has to be navy, and then it could be navy and red or navy and yellow, but definitely a navy going somewhere in there. Okay, with that, once you've made that inference, you're ready to go off to the problems. That's all we can do.